This video is brought to you by Sporlan, quality, integrity, and tradition.
Well, the day has come. I've been kind of putting this one off, but at the same time been a little too busy to deal with it. So we are going to replace an evaporator, drain pan, rebuilding the indoor blower assembly completely, replacing a compressor, and then potentially changing the oil in the other compressor, converting the entire system, this is an R22 package unit, over to 407C. I'm going to address it right now. A lot of people, why the heck didn't I sell them a new unit? Because you can't get a new unit right now. That was the main factor. Yes, the repairs are damn near going to be the cost of a new unit. The customer realizes that. You just can't get a new unit, and they need an AC. This is happening more and more because of all the shortages and stuff, so we got to do what we got to do. Now, I'm recovering the good refrigerant from the good compressor. It's R22, it doesn't matter, but it's not labeled on my gauges. Everything's tight. I purged up to my gauges. Now what I do is when I make this connection right here, I leave this loose. Okay, this guy still has some vapor R22 in it, so it's a good cylinder. It's pretty much empty though. So we leave this slightly loose, and then we go ahead and open this. Now we're purging. So that's how I ensure 100% everything is clean and good to go in this cylinder. I'm gonna go ahead and open it up. And then we are open on the high side. We're gonna go ahead and open on the low side. Right here, right here. For everybody that's gonna freak out, I'll go ahead and change it over to R22. Not that it makes a difference, but we're basically ready to go. Everything's running. Hit start. We're good to go. So I'm gonna go ahead and start disassembling the rest of the unit. I have other people coming here in a little while, so I'll definitely have help with this. We got our new evaporator here. We're just unboxing it. We've got the system recovered. Well, the only one that had gas was the first stage, the one that was still running. It still has good R22 in it. This one right here blew the charge when it leaked out. So that's an easy one. We're gonna change both the dryers. We've got the blower assembly pulled out. We're gonna rebuild that because it's vibrating to all heck. So we have new bearings, a new blower wheel for that. Evaporator comes out right here. When we get the evaporator out, you might as well change the drain pan, but in this situation we need to because the threads are stripped out. The threads strip out on the carriers all the time. You know, you can make do with some tape and stuff, but given the opportunity, we're changing this EVAP. It's super easy, and the drain pans are, you know, relatively cheap in comparison. You can change the drain pans with the evaporator in place, but it's kind of a pain in the butt. So a little bit at a time. There's the old economizer too. We'll probably, because that's not even operating, so we'll probably get rid of all the economizer wiring, eliminate a potential short. Good thing I brought an Easy Up because it's pouring right now. Go figure, summertime. It's not even like gonna be a big deal. You can see it's just scattered thunderstorms right now. It's crazy though, but luckily I brought the Easy Up, so put that over the unit. We put the plugs back in this guy. We haven't opened, well, we've opened it, but we've got this guy in so it doesn't get full of moisture. Good grief, go figure. All right, well, we're just about ready to unsweat the condenser. I'm probably gonna wait for this downpour to stop, and then we'll unsweat the condenser, and then we'll just have to tape up the lines or something. Okay, so we've got this guy in shambles right now. So we put this here when it started to drizzle earlier, then we put the Easy Up over. So the rain's gone for the moment, so I pulled the Easy Up. It's rather humid out here. I want to try to make this quick. We got the condenser out, which I just did that for convenience. We got the evaporator out, so now we need to go ahead and get the new evap up. I don't want to get like too crazy into stuff, but like for whatever reason they ran all the thermostat wire through here. I really would like to redo all of that, but at the same time I don't want to reinvent the wheel right now. I have enough work for me, so we might just have to leave that stuff there. I don't know, but we're moving along. Like I said, we've got everything out. Might as well change that evaporator drain pan. Now the drain pan wasn't leaking or anything, but it is damaged, okay? The threads on these go bad all the time, and like I said, you can kind of make that work, but look at the cracks. You know, there's big cracks right there. Also, look at how difficult it is to get back there and clean that. That's all dirt and lint and stuff. So this guy's pretty plugged up. But we're moving along. Everything's going good so far. So this happened to me the last time. Well, one of the times I changed an evaporator coil. The evap coil is not the same size. It's rubbing. See this piece right here that screws in is hitting every copper line going down, and I can't even get it in. So I have to go in here and trim these just like a 1/16 of an inch off of each one is what I'm gonna have to do. It's gonna be a trick. So we gotta pull this whole evap out. And then look at this. This sucks too. From shipping, there's a big old flat spot right there. It's not damaging anything, but that stinks. It's completely flat. That was on the bottom side, so we didn't even see that. I'm wondering if we can straighten it later, but all right, well, I'm gonna get my die. I have a little angle grinder and we're gonna cut this down. Got the evaporator in. I was able to straighten this out a little bit, straighten this out a little bit. It's not perfect, but it's better than it was. Got the evaporator all screwed in. I ended up having to cut that whole inside thing just slightly down to where it's not touching anything. So that guy's in. We can go ahead and kind of start getting ready to pipe it in and start slowly assembling the unit. Got our blower assembly. Again, we got a lot of people working on this right now. So we just set the bearing. It's a locking collar bearing. So we just set it on this side. We'll center the wheel once we get this bearing pushed in. The old one, everything was just out of balance, so we put a new wheel shaft and bearings on this guy. If you don't completely pull your condenser out of the system to split the coil and clean it, you're a hack, right? No. I taped up the lines. I'm just kidding, but I taped up the lines. We're gonna go ahead and clean this guy real quick. We're kind of in trouble because this wasn't supposed to happen today. It's about to start raining on us. We have a 70% chance of rain. I swear I knew nothing about this rain, but anyways, we're gonna keep going. Luckily we got the canopy. So I've got the Viper Big Blue Cleaner, the Venom Pack, that one right there. And we're just spraying this guy on here. We're gonna rinse it. I'll worry about straightening out the fins later because we just need to get this guy put back on. I'm just applying some coil cleaner and then we'll give it a rinse. We are hustling to get this done. We're not cutting corners, but we're hustling. Got some nitrogen flowing. We're gonna braze in the first stage evaporator suction line, and then we'll work on the liquid line after. I was thinking about draining the oil out of that, but we don't have time for that. Plus, I'm sitting here thinking about it. That compressor's really old, and it's been running with a restricted metering device. To be honest with you, it's probably gonna fail soon, so we'll deal with it then. We'll just make sure that we the liquid line filter dryer is protecting the coil, and we should be good to go. All right, cross our fingers, it hasn't hit us yet, the rain. Evaporator's installed, economizer's installed. I wanted to like scrub that thing down, but we really don't have time for that. Filters are back in. We're trying to avoid all this crazy rain right now. Let's see, all back through here, we're good. I'm still waiting on someone to get back because we're cutting out the Cormax fittings, so we're getting some tees, some pre-made tees. We put in a suction line filter dryer. It's a high acid, the one going to the compressor that was bad because it was a burnout. Yeah, we changed that because I had the 7/8 ones to make it work. So we're gonna put 3/8 liquid line ports when we put it all together, but we're gonna go ahead and drop this condenser in here now. We went ahead and put the thermostat wires that were running through here. I secured them, but in a way that they're not gonna rub out with a double zip tie. Again, I don't like the way that they're ran, but I really don't have time to reinvent the wheel today, so condenser's going in. Nothing is quite going back together the way that I want to, but it's all working out. So what I do for these access fittings is you just unsweat them. It's just a silver soldered in. So I just unsweat them, and then I'm gonna cut with a tubing cutter right here, and then I have a T that's reduced to 3/8. So it's a 5/8, 5/8, 3/8. And then we'll put the access fitting just like I did on this one right here. So I believe this is my last braze joint. Then we got to clean up some wiring, do pressure tests, strap the dryers. We still got a lot of work to do, but we're getting there. All right, so we keep thinking we're gonna get poured on, but it's not. It's sunny, but then the clouds come and go. Go figure, right? All right, so pressure test time. We're gonna enter through the high side, make sure we get flow through the low side. We're pushing it through the dryer. That looks good. So we're gonna go to the tightness test, and we're gonna run the tightness test on this guy. Currently doing a pressure test, and while I'm waiting, I'm combing the fins on this. It's not gonna be perfect. It's, you know, it's never gonna go 100%. But the easiest way is to wet the condenser and then work your way from the good spots. Don't just tackle the bad. Go to the good and work your way over. Because when you get to a bad spot, it's best if you like kind of just slowly inch into it. Like right here, see, I'm only going a little bit into the bad spot. And then it just slowly keep working further and further over. And there'll be some spots you just can't get. Like this, I don't know that I'm gonna be able to straighten this out right here. I mean, you could if you spent hours with a screwdriver, but it's not really worth it that much. All right, we're pressure testing the first stage now. It's gained 2 PSI. Doesn't seem bad. The second stage passed fine too. I don't know which one I just said, but regardless, we're vacuuming down on the second stage because it passed the pressure test. So it looks like we're gonna pass the pressure test on this one too. 5 minutes and we've gained 5 PSI, so I think we're gonna be okay. So again, we're just kind of moving along. We're gonna start taking lunches and stuff, and then we'll start, you know, tightening things up and wrapping it up. We're moving along. We got the top on the unit now. We passed the evacuation on the new compressor, the second stage. Working on redoing some wiring, and then also eliminating all the economizer wiring. We're fixing some of the condenser fan motor stuff because they had a lot of capacitors spliced in here. We're gonna clean that up. Trying to clean up some of this low voltage wiring right here. There's just a massive amount of it. Evacuation on the second compressor, it's in decay. I mean, there's no vacuum stuff hooked up. It's at 400 microns, so that thing's doing great. And then, yeah, we're just pulling down on the first stage compressor now. So, moving along. All right, I think I wired it all right. We got contactors all in. We're still working on finishing up the condenser fan motors. We eliminated the rat's nest of wiring up under here and made it solid wires coming through. 2 individual capacitors. This guy right here, I shortened this a little bit too, eliminated the wire nuts. I still have one on the ground, but I could go directly into the contactors. And then I got rid of the pressure controls mess and then fixed all that. So we're basically ready to charge this guy up. We're in decay, 415 microns on that one and 444 on that one. So evacuation's bitching. Unfortunately, we are gonna put 407C and R22. We're gonna use the recovered R22 that we pulled out of that one. I wanted to convert it to 407C, but with the weather today, I was a little worried about pulling that compressor out. I wanted to get everything back together, so. Oh boy. All right, this unit is running. Talk about a long day. I just got done doing a new P-trap for this guy because of the new drain line and everything. So when I do my P-traps, I like to have a clean out with a cap, clean out there and a clean out there, and then unions. Sometimes if I don't have a union, I'll just do a coupling with some tape, but I had everything to get it done. So trap is done. Unit's been running for about a half an hour. It's about time to evaluate the pressures and see how it's doing. Let's have a look right here. I've got it up on the tablet. Okay, see what we got going on. So circuit 1, 8 degrees subcooling, 18 degrees superheat. I'm sorry, 18 degrees subcooling, 9 degrees superheat. That doesn't look bad at all. Outdoor air is 106 degrees right now. It's pretty hot. 21 degree temperature split. Okay, let's look at circuit 2. Let's go back. It's not looking bad. I mean, everything's a little, it's really not bad actually. 5 degrees superheat. I mean, this guy, first stage, I mean, it's right there. It's within range. What are we calling for? We're calling for 5 degrees superheat. We're not bad. We are not bad at all. This whole unit is kicking butt right now. So I'm super happy with that. We cleaned everything up as much as possible. So we're kind of in cleanup mode. We'll let it operate a little bit longer. Again, I'm trying to bring their building temperature down because it was like 90 degrees in that bar. It's ridiculous, and they had a ton of customers in there. So I'm just letting it run. All right, just opened it up to take all the probes off. We labeled everything really well, 407C R22, so even a blind person would know that's R22. Still got to get some caps on those two guys. Now I did add liquid line ports, and we put a suction line dryer with an HH core. Everything's looking good. So I'm gonna put those caps on, put all the panels back on, turn it back on, and then we're just gonna wrap it up. So that's gonna be it on this one. You know, I tried to get the customer to replace the unit, but we couldn't get a unit right now, so they had to do what they had to do, right? You need air conditioning, so kind of crazy, polishing a turd, right? I just did a massive repair on this AC. Changed the compressor and evaporator, blower assembly, everything. And they call me back the next day and they say it's 81 degrees in the bar. The AC is not working. So I come out here and this AC is running its heart away. What I can hear, I believe to be both compressors running. It's currently 80 degrees in the bar, so it's hot in there, right? But the entire building's hot. So this guy's running. This is one of their bar ACs. This is a 10 ton and this is a 6 ton for the bar. They're both cranking. They both have great TDs. This guy sounds rough. They're beat down, but they're rejecting heat. Don't seem iced up or anything. I come over here. This one just turned on, right here. This thing just turned on and the thermostat was satisfied, but it was like 80 degrees in there. And then I come over here and this one's satisfied. And it's like 80 degrees in that, so the whole building's like 80 degrees. And this one's satisfied. So these should not be satisfied. The thermostat for this one right here is reading 68 degrees when it's 80 degrees in there. These ones are reading like 70, 74. So I don't think it has anything to do with the AC that I fixed. This guy's cranking its little heart away. 55 degrees supply. And again, it's 80 degrees in the dining room. So this guy's kicking butt, 55 degrees. And then we come over here. Now granted, there could be other stuff going on with the AC, but I'm just doing a preliminary triage, you know? So this one right here, let's see what this guy does. So this guy's at 62 degrees supply air and it's like 80 degrees. So not the greatest, but it's running. But I'm still like totally tripping out as to why this one was shut off, this one was shut off, and that one was shut off. And the thermostats are saying it's cold in there when it's nowhere near there. Now, all the thermostats are located in their office. And the first thing I thought was maybe the thermostats lost their zone sensors and they were reading the office temperature. No, because it's like 78 degrees in the office or something. So that's not the case. I pulled the zone sensor from the back of the thermostat and now it says 35 degrees. So that's one of them. That's another one. Look at it, it says 55 degrees. It's not 55 degrees in there. These thermostats are going wonky. Starting to do some weird stuff. So these two right here aren't working, and this one I think just turned on. But this one says 74. It's not 74 in there. So what the heck? It's not a balance issue either, because even if it was pulling outside air, it's 110 degrees outside, so it's not pulling outside air through the walls and faking out the thermostats. What the heck, man? These ones are all reading accurate. That's not the one I fixed. That's the one that I just fixed. It's actually kicking butt. Huh. So I still don't know exactly what the problem is, but it was 4 o'clock when I first got here. And I suspect we're either gonna have bad zone sensors or bad thermostats. It's ironic that potentially 3 of them are bad at the same time, but I went ahead and ran to the supply house real quick because they were about to close. And I just picked up 3 thermostats and 3 zone sensors, but I'm not necessarily gonna change them all. I need to dig into this. So while I was gone, I jumped out this AC and jumped out this AC. And just with those 2 running, this entire building, even the bar AC is satisfied. Each one of these satisfied. They're all at 70 degrees. So I don't know what the heck happened here, but we're gonna dig into this now. So I get in here to investigate this, and I'm like looking back behind the thermostat. There's a zone sensor. And then these ones seem to be going down. And then I look, so the thermostat below it has 2 zone sensors hooked up to it. So someone tried to use, and that makes sense because when I disconnect the zone sensor for where I think this one should be, this one goes blank. So I don't know what's going on here. This is a mess. All right, so I come up into the AC, okay, looking at what's going on here. Because sometimes you run zone sensors through the AC. And sometimes you can steal wires too. So this is our thermostat wire coming up to the AC. There's no extra wires in here. In fact, for whatever reason, there's a jumper from Y1 to Y2. Now I don't like that, but I don't necessarily want to remove that yet because I don't know what I'm unboxing here. Now the other thing is I've got this thermostat wire. It's just a 2-wire and it's sitting right here. I don't know what that is. They do use, like, they have like a weird setup here where they run the smoke detectors up into here, but you look right here, this looks like it's the smoke detector. It's going up here and it's wiring into the indoor blower motor contactor, which I don't even understand why people do that. You should never disconnect the indoor blower motor contactor. You should break R right here. But again, I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel here right now. There's a lot of things I want to fix, but I need to get to the bottom of this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to strip these and wire nut them together and then go downstairs because there was a zone sensor wire behind the thermostat that wasn't being used. So we're going to wire nut these together and see if we have resistance or continuity downstairs. All right, this guy's not being used, so we wire nut it just using a Wago. So we're going to go down and see if we have resistance down at the thermostat or behind the thermostat. Okay, so we've got continuity. Now let's go take it off and make sure the continuity goes away, or the path for whatever goes away. I disconnected it and it didn't go away, so there's something wrong with that. That's why it's not being used. So now we need to see if we can use, so we got an extra black wire here. I gotta make sure that's up on the roof. And what I could do is take the W2 because we really don't use heating here very often. So we could steal the W2 and that black one if they're available up top. So let's go have a look. All right, yeah, that's what we're gonna do. There's an extra black in here, and then we're gonna steal the W2. And then we'll use this connection point, and then we'll run a new thermostat wire over and drop it down in the return for the zone sensor. And I don't know what the dealio is with this, so we'll just abandon that guy. All right, whenever you're doing the thermostat wires, don't run them from the other side of the unit. Run them through, like there's chases and everything, places to run them. So I've got this guy right here. I'm gonna leave extra slack so that way in case I ever have to pull out the economizer, and we're just gonna drop it down in the return. Now it's not ideal. I tried to get a duct sensor, but the supply house didn't have one. This will be sufficient, but always use like the chases and stuff so that way the wires don't rub out. But yeah, like I said, this economizer doesn't even work, so. All right, got the thermostat ran, panels all put back on, ran into here, got some extra right here, spliced the zone sensor wires right there, and then rewired this because it always bothers me when people don't use brown as the common. I love using brown as the common. And then I like blue as Y2, and then orange is usually W2 for me. I mean, it doesn't really make a huge difference, but I think like to say there's like universal colors really doesn't make sense because everybody changes them to what their preferences are. But we're gonna turn this on, go install the thermostat, and then verify that it turns both stages on. I went ahead and took that jumper off too between Y1 and Y2. And we're gonna confirm that everything works right. All right, thermostat's installed. I put it in test mode. All stages came on, indoor blower motors on. This is good. I'm gonna stop at this because these AC, this one especially, that's the one that was tied with the sensor. It seems to be working now. So I'm gonna follow up on that one, and then this one I'll follow up on that too, because they're both working and temperatures look good at the moment. I think this was the main problem, and I'm wondering if there was something wrong with the thermostat, and because it was tied to the other sensor, I don't know. But regardless, we're gonna get off of this one because they're actually asking me to look at their walk-in freezer now. So we're gonna wrap this one up for today.
Oh my gosh, it has been chaos lately. Like everything that could go wrong has been going wrong. It's just been nuts. So we started out this video with a major repair to this AC. Now, this unit, the main first part of the video, that AC has been down for a year and a half, meaning that one compressor was disconnected. It was like a year and a half ago, okay, the second stage. And, you know, they were going through COVID. They didn't want to fix it. Then the year after COVID, they kind of made it through the summer. So they were like, I don't know. And then this summer hits and, you know, things are kind of getting back to normal. They're getting busy and it's just hot in that bar. So they finally wanted to get it fixed. We tried to get them a new unit, but it just wasn't going to happen in the time frame. You know, it's just super hard to get equipment right now. So we went through with the repair, okay? It's, you know, sometimes you run into problems. You have your plans and you hope that everything's going to work out good. And, you know, there was a thunderstorm that day, multiple thunderstorms. There was lightning, thunder, rain, like everything. That night, too, was insane for Southern California. Like, I love lightning and thunder, and we had an amazing show. But regardless, we got the unit back up and running. Now, there's some things that I wanted to do. I wasn't a super fan of you know, me fixing the electrical the way that I did, like the rat's nest of wiring. Of course, in a perfect world, if I had wire on my truck, I think that was 6 gauge or 8 gauge, I can't remember what, I would have liked to have replaced all the wire, extended it all. But I did my best. I couldn't do it all. I just kind of shortened it up a little bit, got rid of the wire nuts that were bugging me right in my face, cleaned up some of the low voltage wiring, eliminated the economizer wiring. I've said it a million times. The customers typically don't want to fix economizers. Sometimes on the rare occasion, I get them to allow me to go ahead and fix them. And if I was going to fix this one, I would actually just install an entire new economizer assembly. I'd put in a Jade economizer assembly with, you know, dampers and everything. And I just run thermostat wire to it. So that's why I eliminated all the factory economizer wiring, because it's always just a problem. Low voltage shorts, I mean, you don't want to take this, you know, and get blindsided or whatever, but I'd say 80% of the time, if you have a low voltage short on a carrier package unit, it's in the low voltage wiring going to the economizer. They're always rubbing out in different places. That or the freeze stats rub out. So anyways, I eliminated all that. You know what was funny too is as I was going through this unit and as I was fixing the low voltage wires, I realized that compressor that was bad, the high pressure control was disconnected. It wasn't in the picture. So obviously that's probably why the compressor went bad. On top of that, the fixed orifice metering device had been plugged up on that unit for a very long time. So when I told them they had a bad compressor, they were like, yeah, just change the compressor. And I'm like, it's not that easy. I'm not doing it unless we're doing an evaporator too, because I'm not about to put a brand new compressor, spend 8 hours, you know, going through it to find out the metering device is restricted, or, you know, because I knew it was restricted. So we sold them on new evaporator with new fixed orifice metering devices, and, you know, went ahead and rebuilt the blower assembly, new drain pan, got the unit up and running. Ideally, I would have liked to have put 407C in both compressors, but it just wasn't practical that day. I wanted to pour the oil out, convert it over to PVE probably. You can use polyester oil or PVE with 407C. The Danfoss compressors, they tend to want to use PVE oil, so I was going to switch it over to that, but it just wasn't going to work, and I was just running out of time. So we eliminated, we left the one compressor with R22. It's been running fine. And then, you know, we get to the next day, they call me pissed off, you know, because their ACs aren't working. They just spent all this money, and it's like, wait a minute, you know. So I'm going out there thinking, what did I do wrong? Good gosh, you know. And then I get out there, and it has nothing to do with my ACs. Oh, man. So I took over this restaurant probably about 3 years ago. And I took over like 5 of these restaurants. And it has just been crazy, the stuff that I have been finding in these. And it's weird too, that zone sensor problem that I had, right? They were tying 2 thermostats together. First off, I got to applaud the person that did that. Obviously, I'm assuming they got called out on a Friday night. They had a bad zone sensor, and someone had the brain power to jump to the other thermostat, and it got them by. Hey, it worked. Like, I get it, you know, but don't leave it like that. Don't leave it, because look at what can happen later. So then they lost 2 ACs, right? Somehow between the two, something was happening. Now we clearly had a bad thermostat, so I changed the one thermostat and then ran the new zone sensor up to the roof, eliminated the whole jumper wire, and put it back together. But man, it's weird that you can have a restaurant for a few years and still be finding weird problems from previous people. Like, it's crazy. But anyways, we got them up and running. Life is good. They are happy. And it's funny too, I mentioned right at the tail end of the video, they wanted me to work on their walk-in freezer too. Yeah, so that, I don't know if I made a video on that one. I can't remember, but that ended up being walk-in freezer, walk-in cooler, and beer walk-in went down. The entire rack lost a condenser fan motor. The condenser was plugged. While I was doing it, we found a leak on the walk-in cooler. The pressure control was dripping oil. It wasn't flashing yet, so it must have just happened. So I got them through the night. I cleaned it up, changed or replaced a capacitor, cleaned the condenser, and then I sent another technician out the next day. He fixed the pressure control, changed it. But good gosh, have we been getting these crazy service calls lately. But hey, I'm thankful that I got the work. It's just a little bit stressful right now, you know. Tensions are high because it's hot. It's been about a week and a half since I did this repair that you guys just watched, and the temperature just keeps going up and up. I was working on a roof today. It was 115 on the roof, and that's not even the full heat yet. We'll hit 120 on the roof, sometimes 125. Even though ambient air outside may be 120, sometimes it's 5 to 10 degrees hotter on a roof, especially when they have like rubber membrane roofs, the white PTO roofs, or even the asphalt shingle roofs. The tar paper stuff like that, the heat just radiates off that. So, you know, 5 to 10 degrees hotter on the roof, it can get pretty crazy. So welcome to Southern California summers, right? I really appreciate you guys making it to the end of the video as usual. It's amazing. I'm so humbled by all the support from all of you. If you guys haven't already, please consider checking out my website, hvacrvideos.com. We have merchandise available. We have hats. We've been selling these things like crazy. I spent a lot of time in, you know, coming up with the design on these hats. I went through a lot of samples. Some of the things that I'm really proud of is the black underbill on the hat, so that way when you're working, your fingers don't get it dirty. And then also, I've said it a million times too, if you hold this hat up to the light, you can actually see through it, but it's hard to tell. It's not like a trucker hat. It's not a mesh hat. It's I don't know, it's really hard to explain, but it's like a dry fit, whatever hat. But it's a flex fit, really nice, and I purposely made it without HVACR videos on it because I didn't want to conflict with anybody's uniforms, right? So it just says HVACR with my color scheme on it, and then that way I potentially am not conflicting with people's uniform policies. And it seems to be working out well because a lot of people have been buying them from multiple people at their company. So that's really cool. So thank you if you've already done that. I really appreciate it. If not, if you're interested, check out the website. We have shirts, sweaters, beanies, soon to be stickers. I keep saying that, but one of these days I'll get the stickers loaded up. I have 2 different styles. They're not on there yet, but you have a white background, so you can see it's white. And then we also have a see-through background that'll be coming soon. So you have the translucent one right here that you can actually see through. So those will be coming soon. It's just a matter of I've been super busy and haven't had time to load them on the website, but I have a big old stack of each one of those. So stay tuned. I really, really appreciate you guys. Other ways to help support the channel, if you're interested in doing so, check out TrueTechTools.com. If you like their pricing, you can use my offer code BIGPICTURE, one word. You'll get an 8% discount on checkout. I get a small commission from that. You get an 8% discount. I really do like TrueTech Tools. They have great quality, great customer service, great company, really cool people to work with. So check it out. You can also support the channel via Patreon, PayPal, YouTube channel memberships. There's links in the show notes of the video to figure all that stuff out. Again, thank you so very much. Remember to be kind to one another, and we will catch you on the next one, okay?